Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A purified and potent form of cocaine that is smoked rather than snorted, highly addictive. A long, narrow opening. A usually brief attempt. He took a crack at it. A narrow opening. He opened the window a crack. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. The glass cracked when it was heated. Suffer a nervous breakdown. A chance to do something. Break suddenly and abruptly, as under tension. Witty remark. Pass through, a barrier. Registrations cracked through the 30,000 mark in the county. Make a sharp sound. Of the highest quality. A crack shot. A long narrow depression in a surface. A sudden sharp noise. The crack of a whip. The act of cracking something. A blemish resulting from a break without complete separation of the parts. There was a crack in the mirror. Break into simpler molecules by means of heat. The petroleum cracked. Break partially but keep its integrity. The glass cracked. Cause to become cracked. Heat and light cracked the back of the leather chair. Gain unauthorized access computers with malicious intentions. She cracked my password. Hit forcefully. Deal a hard blow, making a cracking noise. The teacher cracked him across the face with a ruler. Make a very sharp explosive sound. His gun cracked. Reduce petroleum to a simpler compound by cracking. Tell spontaneously. Crack a joke. A purified and potent form of cocaine that is smoked rather than snorted, highly addictive. A purified and potent form of cocaine that is smoked rather than snorted, highly addictive. A localized and violently destructive windstorm occurring over land characterized by a funnel-shaped cloud extending toward the ground. Having one or more indentations reaching nearly to the midrib. A long narrow opening. A split or indentation in something, as the palate or chin. Split or divided. He had a cleft chin and strong jaw. A long narrow opening. A long narrow depression in a surface. A long narrow opening. A long narrow depression in a surface. Anatomy. A long narrow slit or groove that divides an organ into lobes. Break into fissures or fine cracks. A long narrow opening. Indulge oneself. A usually brief attempt. A brief indulgence of your impulses. Throw or cast away. Move in an abrupt or headlong manner. The act of flinging. Throw with force or recklessness. Fling the frisbee. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes. Move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. change location, move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape. Fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. Pass, fair, or elapse, of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Propose a payment. The Swiss dealer offered $2 million for the painting. Offer verbally. He offered his sympathy. Agree freely. I offered to help with the dishes, but the hostess would not hear of it. Ask someone to marry you. A usually brief attempt. Mount or put up. Offer resistance. Something offered, as a proposal or bid. Noteworthy new offerings for investors included several index funds. The verbal act of offering. A generous offer of assistance. Make available, provide. The bank offers a good deal on new mortgages. Present as an act of worship. Offer prayers to the gods. Present for acceptance or rejection. She offered us all a cold drink. Make available for sale. The stores are offering specials on sweaters this week. Make available or accessible, provide or furnish. The conference center offers a health spa. Produce or introduce on the stage. The Shakespeare Company is offering King Lear this month. Put forward for consideration. He offered his opinion. Threatened to do something. I offered to leave the committee if they did not accept my proposal. Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. Pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw a ball to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. Cause to spin. Flow in a circular current of liquids. Turn in a twisting or spinning motion. The shape of something rotating rapidly. A usually brief attempt. I gave it a whirl. Revolve quickly and repeatedly around one's own axis. The dervishes whirl around and around without getting dizzy. Fly around. Rising smoke whirled in the air. Confused movement. He was caught up in a whirl of work. The act of rotating rapidly. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. There was a gap in his account. An open or empty space in or between things. The explosion made a gap in the wall. A narrow opening. A conspicuous disparity or difference as between two figures. Gap between income and outgo. A pass between mountain peaks. Make an opening or gap in. A difference, especially an unfortunate difference, between two opinions or two views or two situations. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known of news. Fail to agree with, be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a hole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change direction suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. An appraisal of the state of affairs. A check on its dependability under stress. Be verified or confirmed. Pass inspection. These stories don't check. Make cracks or chinks in. The heat checked the paint. A mark left after a small piece has been chopped or broken off of something. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Check the brakes. Develop a child's or animal's behavior by instruction and practice, especially to teach self-control. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Lessen the intensity of temper. Hold in restraint. Hold or keep within limits. The state of inactivity following an interruption. Held them in check. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Slow the growth or development of. A written order directing a bank to pay money. He paid all his bills by check. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Mark into squares or draw squares on. Draw crossed lines on. Additional proof that something that was believed, some fact or hypothesis or theory, is correct. A mark indicating that something has been noted or completed, etc. As he called the roll, he put a check mark by each student's name. The act of inspecting or verifying. They made a check of their equipment. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. The bill in a restaurant. He asked the waiter for the check. Put a check mark on or near or next to. Please check each name on the list. Be compatible, similar or consistent. Coincide in their characteristics. The handwriting checks with the signature on the check. Hold back, as of a danger or an enemy. Check the expansion or influence of. The act of restraining power or action or limiting excess. Abandon the intended prey, turn, and pursue an inferior prey. Arrest the motion of something, abruptly. He checked the flow of water by shutting off the main valve. A textile pattern of squares or crossed lines, resembling a checkerboard. She wore a skirt with checks. Block or impede, a player from the opposing team, in ice hockey. Chess, a direct attack on an opponent's king. Consign for shipment on a vehicle. Check your luggage before boarding. Decline to initiate betting. Hand over something to somebody as for temporary safekeeping. Make an examination or investigation. Check into the rumor. Obstructing an opponent in ice hockey. Place into check. He checked my kings. Stop for a moment, as if out of uncertainty or caution. She checked for an instant and missed a step. Stop in a chase, especially when scent is lost. The dog checked. Verify by consulting a source or authority. Check the spelling of this word. Write out a check on a bank account. Separate substances into constituent elements or parts. Make a break in. Laugh unrestrainedly. Suffer a nervous breakdown. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. To cause to separate and go in different directions. Cause to go into a solution. Close at the end of a session. Take apart into its constituent pieces. Break or cause to break into pieces. Bring the association of to an end or cause to break up. Break violently or noisily. Smash. Come to an end. Cause to separate. Break up kidney stones. Release ice. Set or keep apart. Attack with or as if with a pickaxe of ice or rocky ground, for example. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. Come apart. Suffer a nervous breakdown. The act of throwing yourself down. Break down, literally or metaphorically. The wall collapsed. An abrupt failure of function or complete physical exhaustion. A sudden large decline of business or the prices of stocks, especially one that causes additional failures. Cause to burst. Collapse due to fatigue, an illness, or a sudden attack. Fall apart. A natural event caused by something suddenly falling down or caving in. The roof is in danger of collapse. Fold or close up. Collapse the music stand. Lose significance, effectiveness, or value. The stock market collapsed. Laugh unrestrainedly. Suffer a nervous breakdown. Rhapsodize about. Suffer a nervous breakdown. An estimate based on little or no information. A solid missile discharged from a firearm. The shot buzzed past his ear. A person who shoots, usually with respect to their ability to shoot. He is a crack shot. An informal photograph, usually made with a small handheld camera. My snapshots haven't been developed yet. Varying in color when seen in different lights or from different angles. Chatoyant, or shot, silk. An aggressive remark directed at a person like a missile and intended to have a telling effect. His parting shot was, drop dead. A chance to do something. He wanted a shot at the champion. The launching of a missile or spacecraft to a specified destination. A consecutive series of pictures that constitutes a unit of action in a film. Sports. The act of swinging or striking at a ball with a club or racket or bat or cue or hand. A good shot requires good balance and tempo. The act of firing a projectile. Informal words for any attempt or effort. He gave it his best shot. The act of putting a liquid into the body by means of a syringe. The nurse gave him a flu shot. A small drink of liquor. He poured a shot of whiskey. A blow hard enough to cause injury. He is still recovering from a shot to his leg. An attempt to score in a game. An explosive charge used in blasting. Sports equipment consisting of a heavy metal ball used in the shot put. He trained at putting the shot. Move or strike with a noise. His arm was snapped forward. An informal photograph, usually made with a small handheld camera. My snapshots haven't been developed yet. Tender green beans without strings that easily snap into sections. The act of catching an object with the hands. The infielder's snap and throw was a single motion. Separate or cause to separate abruptly. The rope snapped. Cause to make a snapping sound. Snap your fingers. Lose control of one's emotions. When her baby died, she snapped. The tendency of a body to return to its original shape after it has been stretched or compressed. The waistband had lost its snap. Record on photographic film. She snapped a picture of the president. Break suddenly and abruptly, as under tension. The pipe snapped. A fastener used on clothing fastens with a snapping sound. Children can manage snaps better than buttons. A crisp round cookie flavored with ginger. Any undertaking that is easy to do. To grasp hastily or eagerly. Make a sharp sound. His fingers snapped. Utter in an angry, sharp, or abrupt tone. The sales clerk snapped a reply at the angry customer. A sudden sharp noise. He can hear the snap of a twig. American football. Putting the ball in play by passing it, between the legs, to a back. The quarterback fumbled the snap. A spell of cold weather. A cold snap in the middle of May. A sudden breaking. Bring the jaws together. He snapped indignantly. Close with a snapping motion. The lock snapped shut. Move with a snapping sound. Bullets snapped past us. Put in play with a snap. Snap a football. The act of snapping the fingers. Movement of a finger from the tip to the base of the thumb on the same hand. He gave his fingers a snap. The noise produced by the rapid movement of a finger from the tip to the base of the thumb on the same hand. Servants appeared at the snap of his fingers. Make jokes or quips. Witty remark. A witty saying. A venture off the beaten path. A sally into the wide world beyond his home. Witty remark. A military action in which besieged troops burst forth from their position. Witty remark. Make a comment, usually ironic. Break out. Pass through, a barrier. Penetrate. Of the highest quality. A major strategic headquarters of NATO. Safeguards an area extending from Norway to Turkey. Proteolytic enzyme that converts angiotensin I into angiotensin II. Someone who is dazzlingly skilled in any field. Succeed at easily. Of the highest quality. An ace reporter. The smallest whole number or a numeral representing this number. A serve that the receiver is unable to reach. One of 4 playing cards in a deck having a single pip on its face. Play, a hole, in 1 stroke. Score an ace against. He aced his opponents. Serve an ace against someone. Quite well. She doesn't feel first-rate today. Of the highest quality. A first-rate golfer. A caretaker for an apartment house. Represents the owner as janitor and rent collector. To an extreme degree. She is super smart. Of the highest quality. A super party. Extremely large. Another super skyscraper. Including more than a specified category. A super experiment. Of the highest quality. An athlete in tip-top condition. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The extreme top or summit. Of the highest quality. Played top-notch tennis.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.